Welcome back to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. So I love the NFL calendar the way it plays out. You never have a real dead period where there's nothing. And the draft is over, and now we're like, well, training camp is still a couple of months away. But you really have a continuation of the free agent season, which now gets really interesting because teams know better what their needs are after going through the draft. So for this exercise, our question was, which free agent do you most want the Browns to sign? And G, you said something a couple of months ago about Operation Stockpile.
Yes, sir.
You want them to go overboard at wide receiver like they did on the defensive line last year. And with that, I love that idea. I think you can't have enough good wide receivers. In fact, I think we've got a couple of wide receivers that are chameleons. They're masquerading as wide receivers, but they're not.
Right.
I'm not going to name any names,
We ain't gonna say
but I'm sure you can all think of who they are.
You know what I'm saying?
So I want another wide receiver, and I initially responded with, give me Tyler Boyd. Loved him in Cincinnati. Bull, you know him better than any of us. Great hands. I think he'd be a tremendous number 3 here, even though he probably believes he's better than a number 3. I thought he'd been a very big compliment to what they already got. He signed with Tennessee moments after I turned my pick in. So instead, I'm going to stay with wide receiver. I thought about Odell Beckham. Is there anything left? He was the point of confrontation and division here. I didn't want to go down that road. Then I thought about Jarvis Landry, a guy who we know wants to play still and is coming to Jacksonville's minicamp. But ultimately, I settled on Zay Jones. If Zay Jones joined this Browns receiving core right now, I would be able to echo the sentiments of the Browns front office and coaching staff over the last year, which I never believed. I would finally be able to say, oh, I love the receiving room.
Yep.
But Zay Jones would be nice as a piece to that.
We sound a lot alike, man. We must have been doing this exercise at the same time, kindling our spirits or something. Because I was like, listen, if we get an opportunity, let me go get a receiver. I like Jamari Thrash, but look, I need another receiver, a vet.
We don't know what he is yet.
We don't know what he is. I said, let me go get Odell Beckham Jr. I'll bring him back on a little deal, and then guess what he did? He went and signed in Miami. We talked about that on our previous show. Go watch it on YouTube. So I'm with you. I got to take a pick. I like Simmons from Denver, but our secondary is stacked. I landed on Zay Jones.
Wow, nice.
Same like I landed on Zay Jones. If you get him and Zay Jones is your third receiver with Jerry Jeudy and Amari Cooper, and you can move Elijah Moore down to the fourth receiver.
And you have Njoku in there. Now you've got an offense that you can go 70%.
Now I can say, you know what, our receiver core can stand up to some of the others.
Would you love the receiver room?
Oh,
too,
I would love it then.
Good.
We love it.
So my guy is completely off the radar. I knew you guys would both pick wide receiver, so I decided to go a different position. I don't even know if this guy's going to be completely ready for the start of the season, but he's always been an interesting player. The Browns don't really – their second tight end was Harrison Bryant, and, he made a few plays for them, and I thought they could use a second tight end that could contribute in terms of pass catching, score a few touchdowns. So I went with a veteran tight end, Logan Thomas, who's played for Washington, obviously. The problem with him is
he's a big body.
Yeah,
too,
he's hurt a lot.
Yeah.
But even when he plays, he's usually pretty productive. I mean, considering they were a terrible offensive team and he was hurt again last year, he still had 55 catches for 500 yards and 4 touchdowns. And he's a veteran. He's like 31, 32, I think. But I think that's a spot where the Browns could, can't play David Njoku on every single play.
Right. And his size would give you a
big
good
guy,
goal line
good
guy.
zone, red zone target potentially. If you use them 8-10 plays a game, I think he could be a valuable addition. You probably have to pay him nothing because he's so injury prone and is older. So
I like that pick, Bull. I hadn't thought of him.
Yeah, he's very off the radar.
But you know what?
Yeah.
Given what he brings to the party, he would be a nice compliment to Njoku. Particularly, I still think Njoku should be this unstoppable force in the red zone. And
he should be, and it hasn't been the case.
It hasn't worked out that way. And imagine you go 2 tight ends when you're 3rd and 3 from the goal from the 3rd and goal from the 3.
Right.
My goodness, now you've got Njoku who's great at getting open. And you've got a guy who you can high point the ball to.
Right. It's just another option that they don't really have, a good pass-catching second tight end.
I like it. Really interesting. Is there a guy that has already signed, and we mentioned a couple of them.
Yeah.
If everybody that signed already as a free agent were back on the market, who's the guy they missed on? The guy they absolutely should have signed but has already signed with someone else?
Good question.
I'm trying to think who the top receivers were now. I'm drawing a blank on who the top receivers were in free agency.
You had, I think a couple guys that they missed on it. I'm upset that they missed were the fact that the Kansas City Chiefs got Xavier Worthy, who's the fastest.
Wow, that's a
dude.
draft though.
That's in the draft, but they also got Hollywood Brown.
Yeah.
So now you had a team that was really like kind of depending on tight ends and moving the ball methodically.
And defense.
Now all of a sudden you got two of the fastest dudes in the game.
Yeah.
Just running around with Patrick Mahomes.
Hollywood Brown would have been great.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with you. We're on the same wavelength all day today because Hollywood Brown would have been an absolute fantastic addition. All right, we're taking a break. We're going to turn the page and talk baseball. The Guardians still have one of the best records in all of baseball despite their recent 2-4 road trip. Are they now the overwhelming favorite in an AL Central that suddenly looks pretty good?